Hi everyone, welcome to our new student check-in with advisors for our advanced standing cohort in fall 2022. I'm Renee Finnemore, I'm one of your academic advisors, and I'm here to share information to help you as you're getting started in your classes. So during this session, we are going to talk a little bit about your classes and what you can expect with those going forward, what to expect in relation to finances and financial aid, and also what you can expect with field placement. So just to kind of start things off, just thinking about your courses, if you're struggling with the structure of this first class, reach out to your peers in the course or our Facebook group, or connect with your success coach or one of us advisors. Anytime you have concerns about your specific course, be it an assignment or things that are going on for you personally, those things should be directed to your course instructor. In terms of registration, we registered you for your first classes in the program, but for the rest of the time in the program, you will register yourself for classes. So each semester, you will get an email with instructions on which courses and sections to sign up for the next semester and the deadlines that you'll need to know for that. And you can find add, drop, and withdraw instructions in the online advising portal, but also we'll be sure to send out instructions, especially that first time, to kind of help you work your way through that. You may see a to-do list item in your MyUCF to complete your plan of study. You submitted this during orientation. We've processed it and sent it over to the College of Graduate Studies, and they're working on processing those. So you should see that come off of your to-do list in the coming days. In fact, I've seen it come off for a few students so far recently, but there's nothing additional that you need to do at this time for that to do. However, you will soon be added to a non-credit web course called Pressure to Plagiarize. This is part of that Knights Honor Your Knighthood that was mentioned during orientation. So Pressure to Plagiarize really looks at citations and academic integrity. So this is a required course for all graduate students, and failure to complete this by the deadline will result in a hold on your account that will prevent you from registering. So they give you about a month to get it done. So like I said, you should see it probably in the next week or two, and then you'll have about a month or so to finish it. So it's important that you get that done on time, because the deadline of when that's due coincides pretty closely with when we are going to be sending out the registration information for you. And so it'll take a little bit of extra work on your part to get that hold removed, because that will prevent you from registering for a future semester. And that's pretty much it in terms of MyUCF to-do items. But if you do see any other ones in there that you're not sure about, and clicking on it doesn't really give you enough information, you can always reach out to one of us advisors, and we'd be happy to assist with that. So looking at your finances, some important things to know. If you're planning to use federal student loans to pay for your education, you'll want to submit that 2022-2023 FAFSA now, and then monitor that to-do list that we talked about in MyUCF. Any financial aid documents or anything that they want, they'll let you know through that. If all of your financial aid to-do list items are completed, you will not be charged a late fee, even if the Office of Student Financial Assistance is still processing your award packaging. So in terms of accepting awards and disbursement, once they've processed that application, you can accept, reduce, or decline your awards each semester. So right now, you should see awards for fall and spring. Just know that summer is always offered separately. So you'll register for summer around the end of March or so, and then around the end of April, beginning of May, you'll see a financial aid award specifically for summer. So anytime you're offered a financial aid award, it is only intended to cover your expenses for that semester. So just know that that's coming up. So disbursement is based on enrolled credits. So And this has two parts to it. One is the number of credits that you're registered for in a specific semester. So in the fall and spring, that's 6 credit hours, and in the summer, it's 3 credit hours. But then it's also about your active enrollment. So how many classes are you currently taking that are, actually running at a time? And so for fall and spring, you need to be actively enrolled in 4.5 credits, and in the summer, you need to be actively enrolled in 2. So for this semester, because you're enrolled in 6 credit hours but won't start term 2 until later in the semester, your financial aid will not, those loans will not disperse until term 2. So you want to make sure that you complete those financial aid activity assignments. They're usually the ones that are due the first Friday of your class. Those trigger like an attendance that you're actively participating in the course, and it lets financial aid know that you're eligible to receive your student loans, and then they authorize student accounts to disperse those funds. So that will happen later in the semester, this semester, but then going forward, in your final 3 semesters in the program, you will be actively enrolled in enough credits right from the beginning of the semester for financial aid to disperse early on. So just note that the fee invoice due date, we always get a lot of questions about this. The fee invoice due date, and you probably got some reminders from student accounts saying that the fee invoice was due September 2nd. For our program, we operate on special dates, and so the actual payment deadline for this program is not until later in the semester. In the case of this fall, it's November 11th. So there's a very small number of students that are in these types of programs with the term structure. And so everyone at UCF gets the standard reminders about the payment deadline. And then after that date, your fee invoice will be updated to reflect the actual online MSW due date. So just know that like those reminders that come out early on in the semester from student accounts you can disregard. And if you're ever unsure, you can always reach out to us and we can kind of help with figuring out what's needed to be done. So if you're ever not sure about deadlines too, other than contacting us, you can always find our calendar with those special dates in the online MSW advising portal. So lastly, I just want to say, if you have questions about financial aid, skip that main call-in number at financial aid. As I mentioned, there's a very small number of students at UCF that follow this term structure, and sometimes when our students call the financial aid main line, the people who are working with them don't recognize that they have that unique situation, and so the information that they get isn't always the most accurate that reflects our program guidelines. So reach out to me. I'm happy to answer questions, and if I'm not able to answer those questions, I can refer you to a specific staff member that we work with in financial aid who's very familiar with our two-term structure and can really help, answer questions for you, and be sure to get that correct information. And then lastly, in terms of financial aid, just know that the 2023-2024 FAFSA will open up October 1st, so you will want to plan to submit that this fall to cover your expenses for next fall for your final semester in the program. Through frequent and proactive engagement, your success coach will collaborate with you to co-develop strategies and skills that will help you to meet your academic, career, and personal goals. Success coaches can help you strengthen your time management and organizational skills, set goals and plan how to achieve them, and connect you to resources. Watch for emails from them throughout the semester and feel free to reach out anytime you have questions. So of course, Adrienne and I are here to help you be successful in the program. So reach out to us anytime that you need some guidance and support. We really encourage you to monitor your Knight's email several times a week. Daily is better. You can connect with your instructors as well as the advisors via email, phone, Zoom, or web courses. You'll want to make note, especially with the faculty in your syllabus, they'll tell you what the best way to reach them is. Oftentimes that's through web courses, but certainly you can email or call or set up a meeting on Zoom with Adrienne and I as well. So you'll want to accept the invitation for the online MSW advising portal and web courses. This is where you're going to find answers to many questions and important announcements and things that we share with students. It's also a great place to find basic information after hours or on the weekends. If you've got a question, you might be able to find the answer there if you're not able to connect with us. Our online MSW Facebook group, this is a closed group for all the students in the program and our alumni. Sometimes we find that cohorts will start their own cohort-based group, either through like Google Meets or a separate Facebook group or GroupMe. I've seen some different cohorts do different things, but anything that we don't monitor those individual cohort groups, but we do try to monitor our larger group Facebook group. But anything that we share there, we will also share to the advising portal or directly to email to students. So if you don't use Facebook, don't worry, you're not going to be missing out on anything important there. But our students do find that it's a great way to get feedback from other students about their experiences with professors, farther along in the program, textbook recommendations, a glimpse of what field experience is like. So it can be a really valuable tool. So anytime you're having questions about your plan of study, anything about policies and procedures, anything about your academic requirements and what you need to do to complete your degree, for sure you want to reach out to us. And then I would also really encourage you to reach out anytime you're experiencing a challenge that might impact your academic performance. With the accelerated nature of our program, being sick for a few days in a week can really be a big setback. So, whether it's adjusting to being back in grad school and, juggling multiple responsibilities or short-term or chronic illness, things like that that might be happening. Any kind of thing that you feel like it's getting in the way of you being able to focus on your schoolwork, we definitely want you to reach out to us so that we can talk to you about some strategies that you can use and things that you might need to know about policies and procedures that can help protect your academic standing. So at this point in the program, one of the things that we did was have breakout sessions for students to meet with their field faculty. So I will say that those were not recorded, but you should be hearing from the person that you're assigned to for your field faculty within the next week or so. So if you have not heard by the end of September from a faculty member, one of these faculty members, saying that they are your field faculty for placement process, please reach out to us and we'll try to find out who you're assigned to and help connect you to them. In terms of what to expect in field placement, you're going to complete a clinical field placement in the final 3 semesters of the program. So you're going to have a chance to speak with your field faculty about any questions that you have about the process. But just know that it starts in semester 2, that field placement process is happening now. You've already gotten started with some of those initial modules, and you'll see that there's additional assignments for you to do as the semester goes on. You'll complete about 14 hours per week at an agency that you're assigned to, and typically this looks like 2 7-hour days. Just a reminder, I know this has been said in other places, but just keep it at the top of your mind that students are expected to be available Monday through Friday between 8 and 5, at least a couple of days a week, obviously, to get that 14 hours in. And we cannot guarantee evening and weekend placements. In fact, they're so unusual. We find that they just almost never happen, mainly because the agencies that host students structure that time when they have social workers on staff, and that is most frequently Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So just be thinking about and being mindful of how you need to arrange your own work-life balance in order to accommodate that. And you'll find more information and resources in the advising portal in terms of like what does a clinical placement look like, what might I be doing there, and things that you need to know to help you get ready for that. Any concerns that you have about your field placement, you'll want to go directly to your field faculty, but essentially their role is to help to take all the information that you've already provided from the information form, the application, the narrative, your resume, and help match you to an agency opportunity in your area. So that looks different for everyone. It's a very customized process, but there are some things that are pretty standard that all field faculty do based on the policies and procedures in the field manual, which hopefully by now you have read. So again, any questions that you have about field placement, you can go directly to your field faculty with those. Okay, I just want to wrap up our session by a few last minute reminders. Getting connected with us, really if you're, contacting us by email, using that Knight's email account to contact us and checking that email account frequently for important information. Reaching out to your faculty. So if they have office hours, attending those hours, if they're by appointment, setting up time to speak with them and, to ask questions about your class, learn more about their experiences and their background, things like that, helping to connect and network with them in that way. And then, of course, reaching out to your advisors. Adriana and I, we're here to support you. So anytime you have questions or need, just to feel a little more connected to the university and want to have a Zoom meeting, we're happy to do that. But we're here to answer any questions you might have. You heard from Barbara earlier as your success coach. She's here to be your motivational partner, but she's also a great strategist. So, one thing that I really encourage you to do at this point is to contact her and set up a one-on-one appointment with her to talk about how things are going and, what areas in your life maybe making some small changes could really help bring about some big wins for you and really increase your ability to be successful in the program. And again, those, accessing the online MSW advising portal and the Facebook group is ways to be connected and also get more information about the program. So, thank you for listening to our session today. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out anytime. We are happy to assist. And best of luck as you move forward in your class this semester.